guys. So, recently I went over on eBay and went to one of my favorite sellers and kind of picked out a few things. I was mostly looking for Marvel Age Fantastic Four for my daughter. They had one issue, so I picked that up and then kind of went down the rabbit hole and picked up about 15 issues for myself. So thought we'd take a look at those today. But before we do, the last couple days I've read through the new Usagi from IDW. The last 15 issues or so, which were very good. And on the back of the issues, they had a coupon code for Stan Sakai's website, so I picked up this Usagi chibi pin, which I thought was super cute. And then I also picked up Volume 3, the trade paperback of Usagi's original early adventures. So I had books 1 and 2, but I didn't have book 3, so I picked that up. If you like Usagi, his website has a lot of a good amount of these. Some of them, honestly, they're on his store, but then you click and it's out of stock. But you can find them on like Amazon and things like that. But let's see. Oh, one of my purchases on eBay this past couple weeks, just because I couldn't find it at the comic book store. This is Detective Comics 1033, which is the finale to the Tomasi run. Not sure still who's coming on to Detective Comics after Future State. Right now, DC, I mean, they've shown a couple of the Superman stuff that's coming up after Future State, but apart from that, I really don't know who's handling a lot of those titles coming out of that event, which I know it runs through like next month. I think all of February is still Future State, except for like their Black Label releases. But without knowing who's going to be done Detective Comics, I had this dropped from my saver because I was getting it for Tomasi, and without him on there and without knowing what's going on come March, DC's, except for those Black Labels, is kind of an afterthought to me right now. So let's see, this is Marvel's Greatest Comics number 53, which is basically a reprint of some early Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Fantastic Four. You can tell that's a totally Jack Kirby face on Johnny Storm there, and Mr. Fantastic. This isn't in the best shape, but I love these like 25-cent Marvel comics from this age, so I picked that one up. This one I just had to get because of the cover. It's Detective Comics 620. This skeletal Batman face here. That was just too macabre and cool to not pick up. I think it was only like $1 or $2, so got this one. I know Grant and Brayfogle, those names ring a bell. I want to say Grant was on Batman for quite a while in the late 80s, early 90s. So, this is Detective Comics number 688. I actually got this because I had recently picked up the Kevin Nolan variant for the Batman's Grave miniseries, and I was like, oh, I need to pick up some more Kevin Nolan artwork if I can, and so this is Dixon and Nolan, but this is not Kevin Nolan. I think I forgot how to spell that day, because Kevin Nolan, I think, is like K-N-O. So this is just some guy named Nolan. The art inside is not anything to write home about, but, issue zeros just because I figured they'd be fun little just one-shots. That's classic Tim Drake, Robin here with Batman. Another 0 hour. This is Shadow the Bat Zero. Really cool cover. I like how it's kind of, painted. It looks like those trading cards back in the 90s, So again, I'm hoping these 0 hour one shot, or I'm hoping they're kind of one shots. It's issue zeros. I can't imagine that all the issue zeros for Batman are going to be, actual Crime Alley revisited stories. So it'll be interesting to see how these are. This is Batman number 414. This is when they had the new adventures branding at the top, which I think was just their way of letting everybody know that Batman was kind of back to his roots, and it wasn't going to be campy fun anymore. So this is by Jim Starlin, of all people. So it'll be interesting to see how this one is. I think this is, this is before Jason Todd, Robin, I believe. But the new adventures, quote unquote, Batman, that's where you see Jason Todd and, that kind of stuff start up because they were introducing new characters. This is Adventures of Superman number 503. Really just picked this one up because of Superboy and Cyborg Superman fighting on the front there. This is shortly after Cyborg Superman blew up Coast City, and I've been picking up Superboy from this 1990s time period because I always liked this costume. I know it's very 90s and silly now, but it's just, to me, it's like exactly what Superboy should be wearing. It's either that or the black t-shirt with the red S and the jeans that he wore with Teen Titans. Those looks for Connor are my favorite. I had to pick up some Conan because I love me some old Conan. So this is number 128 from 1981. I put these in order. Yeah, I did. So this is kind of when that's still 50 cents. It's still got the Marvel old style banner on the top there, which I love to see. But they had a few Conan for, on the cheap because they're like later in the runs. They're not the early stuff. This one's number 131. You see, it's been, let's see, 3 issues and it's gone up by 10 cents. That would have been blasphemy back in the day. Of course, now if you could get a comic for 50 or 60 cents, we'd be jumping for joy, right? And then this one is number 76. I don't know why I have this out of order. I should put those back in a better order. This is 30 cents, and it's just 4 years earlier. Look at that, double the price in the course of 4 years here. But I just love these. Anything that has the Marvel comic group trade dress on the top and the little picture in the corner. You got me. I will buy it. I don't care what it is to an extent. So those were the Conans. This one I picked up in a separate buy just because I saw my local comic book shop. They have a eBay page and they deal in their eBay page is mostly for really high-end stuff. And they had like a CGC issue or a copy of this. And I just loved this cover. This is Detective Comics 497. I think this is an English edition because it says 15 pence in the top corner. But I just love the, Barbara Gordon murderer, and she's locked up, and you have, Batman and Robin here looking at her disapprovingly. That's just one of those classic, 50s, 60s covers to me. I don't know what year this one is. It doesn't have a year on the front. But when I saw that on their eBay page, I went and searched out this issue from another seller, just a reading copy. So the next three are bigger. I don't know how well they will fit on the screen here. We'll see how it goes. This is, let me see if I can back it up a little bit. Just a smidge here. This is Conan Saga number 35. Looks like from 1976, or at least that's when the cover illustration is dated. And this is the magazine size Conan book of the time. I know initially it was not called Conan Saga. It was, Conan the Barbarian was the Marvel comic all ages, quote unquote book, and then Savage Sword of Conan was the magazine size one. I think these are basically like reprints of the Dark or Savage Sword stories with, original covers and things. I don't know what the year on it is, but it's $225 and it's $275 Canadian. So I want to say that's going to be later, a lot later than the 60s, 70s, unless they were just more, because it was magazine size. But I picked up 4 of these. Basically just the covers that I liked. Here we got Conan fighting some sort of goop monster, and we have this very scantily clad lady. I don't know how those are staying on, but I give her credit for trying. This next one is Conan Saga number 45. Again, it's, the cover art, it's dated 79, but I don't think that's when these came out. Let's see here. I was gonna say I bought the seller I bought these from. They have little information tags. Sorry. Information tags at the top so that number one, they can find them when you buy them easier. And number two, it'll tell you if it's like very fine, and what the Overstreet price guide is. And it'll tell you like, okay, a very fine has, these kinds of issues like, is the cover clean, or, are there any tears? And it basically gives a whole bunch of information on here. I need to get some more magazine size backs and boards because these are a little beat up, so I do plan to switch these out. But this one's a cool cover. You got Conan coming at you, and his sword's all covered in blood. He's chopped this guy's arm, and he's killed this guy, and he's dragging him around. So next one is just classic. Like, this looks so much just like a classic Conan cover to me. You got Conan here on a pile of bodies with his axe in his hand, and this lady clenching onto his leg in as few clothes as they could possibly put her in. I've heard it's cold in Samaria. I don't know how these people have so little clothes. But this is just a classic, like, what's the name of I forget the name of that artist that does Death Dealer and all those, high fantasy illustrations, but this thing's just great looking. This is issue 49. And then finally, we have issue 62, which is it's got a little bit of a wave to it, so I think it's seen a little bit of maybe water humidity damage, but you got Conan riding a horse full charge into these Arabians, and of course they've got this lady scantily clad in the corner, who's Conan's coming to, I guess, probably not save, but he will end up doing it accidentally, while Savage Sword of Conan stuff. If you can find it on eBay, even beat up copies, people ask for kind of extraneous amounts. So this Conan Saga, which I'm assuming are kind of just reprints, are a little bit easier to purchase. These were like $2 each, and at that price, I was willing to, pick up a few. They are a little hard to hold in the, in your classic comic book box. I find that they're width-wise, you can kind of lay them on the top. Sometimes. I do have a couple boxes that are not, not specifically probably made to be regular comic size, so these fit in there. But definitely need to get some new bags and boards for those. So that was it for my little haul there. Not too much, but I certainly had fun picking up the issues. Lord knows I probably don't need to be, I'm running out of space to be putting these things. But, if I see a classic Conan cover or, a cheap copy of Batman or just a, funny cover like that Barbara Gordon one, it's hard not to scratch that itch, So I hope you guys are having